What's going on, everyone? Hopefully you've been having a fantastic time with Elden Ring Nightreign, and I know you're here for the updates of version 1.01.2. Without wasting any time, we're going to get straight on to it. Now, there has been a few changes with that Ironeye, and the main one is that supposedly there was a bug where the passive effects such as add magic, lightning, holy, etc. to the weapon when applied to the bow made the physical attack power higher than expected. Now, me personally, I have a mind to think that because the note, actually was a third note that came following this, adjusted the damage drop off. I think that basically there was a whole lot less damage drop off, and this is kind of like a stealth nerf for the Ironeye because it was so good, and it still is. For those of you who are watching, the jury is probably not out, but I'm pretty sure I played a couple of games on this and it looks pretty good still. However, to get a little more into the details, the third bulleted bug fix says that there was a bug where weapons with quote-unquote projectile damage drop-off reduced passive effect were not included in a loot pool for the chest and felled enemies. I think they just kind of added it. I don't think that this was supposed to be in there. Like I said, I think it's a stealth nerf, and I'll put a clip of it up on the screen so you can see what you want to look for. And this, in tandem with the arrow reach talisman, which increases the drop off by 100%, it really makes a pretty big difference because the bows do have a pretty good drop off, and I feel like it's a lot worse now than it was before. Like I said though, as long as you have the talisman and or passive effect with the projectile damage drop off reduced to some varying amount, it should make a pretty big difference. I did a playthrough where I had a bunch of those stacked up, a 30%, 40%, 30%, and it was it felt pretty alright. Without it though, you will definitely see the damage drop off. However, because I wasn't able to play the network test, please put in the comments down below if you actually saw this passive before the game actually dropped. Another one that they had added was where some non-direct attack specific weapon skills would inflict the attribute power and status ailment of the weapon. I think this is kind of like what happened in the very beginning of Elden Ring. When Elden Ring a few years back was released, there was a few examples of this. I hadn't noticed anything like this happen in Nightreign, but apparently it was, so that's been fixed. And there has been a few other bug fixes that they put into the update, but none of these are any of which I've ever had any problems with, but apparently someone's been having problems because these are the bugs, and I'll put them up on the screen for you guys to check out. So I'm going to put up on the screen another bug that kind of needs to be fixed. It didn't make it in the patch notes. I don't think that it made it in the updates, but I did submit a support ticket, and basically I fell through the wall and died, which is kind of funny, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of not, because when you're having a serious game, it does make an effect, especially when you're playing with other people, so it affects everyone altogether. And this type of thing didn't ruin my run, but it could ruin a run, and so I figured I'd put it up there for you guys to check it out. Something else that I noticed was there was a few examples when I was playing on my PS4 of the Revenant not being able to heal after taking a sip of the health flask. So the animation actually worked, but there was no healing going on, and it led to my death on several occasions. I did put a support ticket in for that, and unfortunately I don't have a video clip of that because, like I said, I was playing on my other PlayStation, and it is definitely, I mean, that was probably more heinous than the other, actually, because when you need health, you need it. So that was pretty bad, actually. That pretty much concludes all the patch note and updates for Elden Ring Nightreign version 1.01.2. Hopefully you guys have been having fun with this game. I know that I've been having a load of fun, and I've been playing this game constantly, and seeing a lot of the different bosses, fighting them, beating them. It's been a blast. So thanks for watching, stay cool, and bye everyone.